So some of the things that are disappointing is the fit, the finish, the trim. It really just is nowhere near the quality or fit or just tactile feel that you get from something like this. This 912, all day long, this thing feels great in the hand. It has that same precious resin feel that you get out of any of the higher end pens. It's fantastic. I don't generally love when Pilot puts their standard trademarked ball tip clip on. I like the sword better, but to each his own. Again, that's why there's chocolate and vanilla out there, man. You like the other one, then you buy it. It's your thing. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a write sample with this so you can see the line variation. I'm going to do a write sample with this after talking quite a bit more about some of the features about it, because that's what it's predominantly about. And I will go ahead and do a small write sample with this Pelikan 140 so that you can see what I expected from this and don't get out of that. All right, so it goes without saying, the table has been changed out, but the green Crocs are still, well, Dayglow yellow Crocs are still on. There was a comment about them not being in the last video. I couldn't believe somebody said that, but yeah, no worries. I had them on at that video and they're on in this one. My comment about can Pilot keep up with Montblanc is based on the fact that one of my second purchased pens, expensive pens, I should say, not pens overall, was this Pilot right here. It's the custom 912, and it's the music nib. This thing has always left me extremely happy when using it. It has some feedback, there's no question about that, but it's always left me very happy, and in comparison to a Montblanc or a Pelikan or some other brands, it holds its weight without any doubt whatsoever. So naively, I thought, okay, I really would like to try their, that's not supposed to be their flex nib. The Falcon is supposed to be their flex nib. I would like to try their flex nib. So I went ahead and I purchased a Falcon, Pilot Falcon, not to be confused with one of their custom pens with an FA nib. Disappointment all around. So some features about the pen. I'll be writing on Rhodia paper and not my best tablet that I've got laying around. But I don't think that the dot shows up very well, so I'm going to just use lined paper. Anyway, I was at least happy that it's not a slide on and off tip. It is, or cap, it's threaded. The barrel itself, it really does feel fairly cheap. This is definitely not a traditional Pilot. I'm going to take a look and make sure I'm correct. It's not a converter I'm familiar with seeing. It actually has little ball bearings inside of it. As a matter of fact, if I go right there, so let's go ahead and go up to zoom. You can see one of the ball bearings right there in the ink. There's 3 of them. Oh, look at, you can see all 3. Oh, there's 4. Well, apparently there's at least 4. I thought I only counted 3. That being said, there's little ball bearings inside of there. I am assuming those are supposed to help with things like nib creep. Speak of the devil, there's plenty of nib creep on this nib anyway. And we're going to go ahead and write with it. It doesn't feel great. This is supposed to be capable of going from an extra fine up to a double broad. It does post. Its banding is nowhere near the same quality that you'd get out of their Heritage custom lines. You can see right there in that image. I mean, I'll turn it right side up in case somebody really cares. it is just nowhere near the same quality. The clip is nowhere near the same quality. By the way, the price is nowhere near the same price. I genuinely thought that I just wasn't going to have some of the bells and whistles, but it's just not even close. That being said, it does have some line variation, but it's not a ton. We'll go ahead and write with it just so you can see. I'm a lefty, by the way, so my penmanship's to begin with not that great. But, you know, I don't know if you could see what just happened there, but it was almost like it dug right through the paper on the upstroke. So that being said, I'm going to have to be very careful. I didn't even get an H in there. That's awesome. Wow, you could definitely hear that. I have not written with this much more than its initial test run on it to make sure that it functioned. And I literally mean, like, I think I wrote one word and I didn't think twice about it. I'll just do a quick video of it. I could tell it was going to be a catch and release. I'm going to be selling this because I won't ever grab for this. But, you know, if you're looking for super thin, you can get it. And then if you want a broad and then come out, you can definitely get some line variation out of it. But I will say it's not pleasant to write with. Neither is the 140. I've talked about that a little bit in the past. Wow. But it's very scratchy. I don't know that you can write. I mean, my penmanship will be horrible if I'm trying to write fast. Okay, so hopefully that's picking up exactly how bad that is. There is no question. Every bit of upstroke is unpleasant. And the 140 is also, but to put that into perspective, I'm going to go ahead and grab the custom 912. It's nowhere near the same. So you'll hear some feedback, but it's not like difficult pushing back on you. So you definitely get some shading that's more pleasant out of the 912. The ink, of course, can be something that has something to do with that, but you can see some shading right inside of here. This is an ink that I definitely get or have seen more shading from in the past than I'm seeing out of that pen. As far as pushing the pen to write fast, it has significantly more pleasant writing experience, but the line variation is significantly better also. But the fit and feel and finish is significantly better. So I'm getting ready to sell this. I hope I did not change the ink out, which I'm almost 100% certain I did not. And we'll go ahead and just show the substantial. This is what I really kind of expected, but with a smoother nib. So I'm going to even pull that up a little bit further so you can see the line variation is substantially different. This Pelikan definitely goes way, way, way lower. As far as fast writing, this is unpleasant as all gets out, but horrible, but expected. This was sold as a quote-unquote 1950s wet noodle, and it definitely has great line variation. This is supposed to be the modern equivalent of, dare I say, a wet noodle. I'm not going to agree. I'm also not going to say that this is the be-all, end-all of what Pilot's capable of. I'm going to go ahead and find my way into getting into probably like a custom 912. I like the body. I like the cap. I like the fit and finish. And I'll get it with an FA nib and see the difference between this and that. I wish there was a way of illustrating online and video how cheap this feels in comparison to the other pen. It definitely feels more like what I would think a $50 pen would feel like. I'm pretty sure this is more like a $190 pen. And if this is $190, and I know I bought this a couple years ago, I got into this in the lower twos. If this is $190 and this is in the twos, I'd be smoking crack to buy that instead of this. I'll go ahead and take a quick look and see how much these are going for now. So apparently nowadays, you're looking at the mid to upper twos instead of the mid to lower twos on one of these. Jet Pens has a used one for $156 with the FA nib. You're lucky to find this used in the range of $100. So if you're telling me this is $150 and this is $100, all day long, save your money, buy this pen. It is that much better of a feel in the hand. It's not meant to be mean. It's not meant to criticize anybody that's buying one of these because that's what they wanted to buy new as far as what they had money for at the time. This is solely for the person that's doing some research on their own and trying to decide what they want to buy. If you're really considering the Falcon pen, save your money, buy their higher end pen. It's worth it. I would rather have one of these than two lower quality pens, hands down. Again, I've got an absolute ton of pens. People have heard this from me all the time. Again, so here's a handful of Montblancs here, and there's a handful more of Montblancs here. Lots of Pelikans, a bunch of Waterman, Cross. I've got a bunch of different pens. So it's not just a you know, oh, I only think of this brand or that brand. I've tried a bunch of different brands. That being said, after having some of the very most inexpensive pens that are still extremely high quality, Stola 3 by Pelikan, absolutely great quality pen. Hate that it doesn't post. Everything about this pen is fantastic, and it's half the price or less than this Falcon. It's definitely worth twice as much. The numbers are off here. Pelikan, you did it right. Pilot, you didn't. That's really all there is to it. And I guess at that point, I'm going to have to say, as is kind of typical, the yellow Crocs are signing out.